Hey everyone, it's Dominique from Blogging My Undies, and today I wanted to talk about how much I hate the hospital. And by hate the hospital, I don't actually hate the hospital or the system. System is a little bit iffy, but it's actually quite efficient for the emergency section anyway. I had to take the M girl to the hospital last week because we were declined an appointment despite 3 days of a consistent non-breaking fever of minimum 38 degrees. Sometimes it was reaching H level on the digital scan thermometer, meaning 42.2 degrees Celsius or more, who knows. Anyway, I opted to take her to emergency, and the system in Finland is pretty awesome in regards to how the emergency system works. You check in Emerge, you take a number, you bring your Kela card, which is your social security card number, and you check in, they ask a few questions, and then you go register again with your paper that they give you, and they just confirm your address. They print out a bracelet in case you're checked into the hospital for more than your appointment, and then you go and wait, and you're ranked from A to E, E being a not so serious case, and A probably you were in a car accident or you're having a very, very bad situation. So for children, they tend to bump them up because they realize, especially depending on the time of the night, they realize that the kids have to go back to bed, and also, they're pretty whiny until they get their, checked out and get their medicine and stuff. So I took the M girl, and it turned out that indeed she did have both ears infected as of Friday. So she was given antibiotics, prescription, which we picked up, and prescribed to take extra pain meds, so on, to bring the fever down. So that's been working out great. And then the VMan started coughing just a couple days ago, and also having fever and not really moving, just zoning out on the sofa with his iPad and not doing anything. So that's sign number one, that he's actually looking at his iPad for more than 5 minutes, although he's been getting more interested in movies. So I took him to the Emerge, which opens from 4 p.m. on, because the health clinics are closed by 4 in the afternoon. So I took him to Emerge and got him all checked out, and I hate taking him to the hospital. He's the worst kid to take by far because, for one, he's nonverbal. So every time, you go to the doctor or go to a hospital, they're going to ask you, what hurts? Are you allergic to anything? Yada, yada. And I have to be his voice for him, but at the same time, I can't be his voice. I can't be his voice because I don't know what the heck is going on with him. I don't know what hurts. I don't know what he feels like, or if something feels fuzzy, something is itching, something is burning. I can't answer those questions. The only thing I'm good at saying is he had a temperature, I gave him meds this time, and he's nonverbal autistic, and we're going to need help holding him down. And that's about the extent of my job. That's as much of a voice I can be for him, which is, okay, better than nothing, but as a parent, I think you might agree with me, that it's frustrating. I can't help my kid explain how he really feels, because I simply don't know. I don't have some tricorder scanner thing like in Star Trek that will say beep beep beep, he feels like this, or he feels like that. So anyway, we tried our best. We waited about an hour, which was pretty good because there were about 3 children ahead of us, and there was like a couple other people there that didn't have children, so that was pretty good. I mean, I recall going to Emerge once in Canada for myself and waiting a few hours, and also for my husband, and same deal. So the biggest annoyance, which I have a blog post started up about this, the biggest annoyance for me is, I guess, the judgment in the waiting room. Because any other time, from 4 years old and younger, the VMan would be in a stroller because he always ran away. Now he sticks a little bit closer, not always, depends on the situation, but today, thankfully, he's stuck nearby, except he was obsessed with the automated doors. because it's an emergency hospital. So of course they're going to have automated doors. And the first door is automated, and then to get past into the hospital, you need to take a number. But if you're leaving the hospital, which would have been our case since we were inside of it, in the waiting room, right by the doors, he insisted on, rushing up to the door maybe every 4 seconds, and he was just rushing up and, getting really excited. And it's annoying. Like, I understand the cause and effect. I understand how exciting it is. But every single adult in that waiting room, and kid too, was staring at me, probably wondering, what the hell is your problem? Why are you letting your kid block a doorway to an emergency hospital? Why is your kid not under control? Why is your kid not sitting nicely? And I had my iPad, or his iPad, I had my phone out for him. I was trying my hardest to remain calm, because really I just wanted to pull my hair out and have a glass of wine. Simple as that. So I just tried to keep him out of the way of patients that were coming and going, and most of them seemed to be quite understandable because he's a kid, and because he was making these very odd sounds and motions with his face and with his hands, and walking on his tiptoes, and because he wasn't saying anything. So fair enough, but it was rather annoying. And the problem is, now that he's 6, he's just getting stronger and stronger. And when we finally did get to go into the hospital to see the doctor, which only took an hour's wait total, so really not complaining, the doctor had to get a nurse to hold him down. And by hold him down, I mean he was sitting in her lap on a chair, and she wrapped her legs around his legs together, and then she was gripping his whole body, and my job was to pin his face like this against her neck, so that way the doctor could look in his ears. So it was interesting, and thanks so much to the doctor and the nurse that tolerated us and my sweaty, stinky child, because by the end of it, we were all caked in sweat from holding him down. And this only took about 5 to 7 minutes just to check his ears. So the verdict is no ear infection yet. However, because he has those tubes in his ears, they said that the doctor said it was possible an ear infection could come, and if it does, there would be liquid coming out of his ears, and if that's the case, bring him back in to get antibiotics. But there was no shame in me bringing him, because he does have a horrible history of ear infections galore, and because I can't tell with the naked eye, and a flashlight on my cell phone, if the tubes are in place or not. And because he had already lost one, which had recently been replaced last summer, so it was good. And he got a prescription for some extra strong pain relievers. But that's pretty much it. That's my adventure in the hospital. I'm exhausted, and I would love to stay up and watch TV, but I don't know if it's going to happen, because it's a workout going to the hospital and just holding him down. Blood work is a totally different ball game, along with x-rays. X-rays are horrible because he won't stay still, and it doesn't matter if I give him a sticker, or the doctor gives him a sticker, or a lollipop, or anything. He just simply does not give 2 craps. He wants to go, he hates it there, and that's life with an autistic kid. So I imagine by the time, he's a teenager, I'm probably going to be covered black and blue if we ever have to go to the hospital with him, covered in bruises. And because he's just getting so strong and so big, I'm not going to be able to handle him soon. And then what? Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you have better luck than I do when it comes to going to the hospital for anything. Thanks for watching. Bye.